I want to put both my co-hosts on blast right now. Like,
Fuck you.
No, I'm putting you both on blast, because you know what we could be doing this episode? We could be doing, like, a Red Letter Media Best of the Worst recap episode of this movie that's been getting like, blasted at me on YouTube
Jesus Christ.
every single day. I can't log in.
You need to stop looking at
I
porn,
cannot log into YouTube without seeing furry titties from a musical made in the 80s glaring at me. And I recommended, hey, let's watch Rock and Rule, guys. It's a shitty movie, but the algorithm right now is recommending everybody watch it. And I was like, oh man, if we don't watch it, Red Letter Media is going to watch it. And then a year later, JonTron's going to rip them off, and he's going to watch it, and he's going to make a video about it, and we could be the forerunners here. We could be the guys who watched Rock and Rule, this abomination from 1984 that I don't even remember, and I've seen Wizards. But no, Mike is like, nah, I'm a piss baby. I don't want to do the thing because it might be cringy. Well, that is explicitly why you do the thing.
There is a specific flavor of bad that I enjoy, and that's like, if we watched that, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it because I could tell from what little I saw that the people who made it probably didn't hate what they were making.
No,
I love the Troll 2, the movie, because the people making it look like they're not having a good time.
Well, no, I actually disagree completely, because this is like, we talk about the fact that American animation is dead, and we only know how to, like, animate Elsa's feet and horse
Moth
these
talks
days.
about the fact that American animation is dead.
No, like, there's actually a huge conversation about how Americans can't animate in traditional media anymore.
Klaus just came out.
Yeah, Klaus just came out, and we
I
have
feel like that's not made by Americans.
No,
It might
it's
not
not.
be,
It's
actually.
made by Scandinavians.
Like Bulgarian.
Oh, very valid.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's tons of good American animators still, or at least Western animators. Like, there's a lot.
No, there really isn't. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, Americans can't animate in 2D anymore. That's like
Considering that there are several like Japanese studios that are using American web animators, I don't think you're correct.
No, Stamper and Psychic Pebbles are the last remaining American animators. Like, ignore Vizzy Pop; she doesn't count because she's a girl. Like, honestly, like the sleep.
Frog, hey Frog, you remember that? You remember that amazing cut from the last episode of SSS Gridman that was done by
Bahi JD? I think he's actually like,
yeah,
he's like Austrian or something.
No,
stop disproving my point.
He's not Austrian. He's
just agree.
He's Korean, but the Japanese hate the Koreans so much they just say he's Austrian, so they don't have to admit a Korean animator.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I feel like the last time we talked about Bahamut, fuck, I still can't say his name.
Yeah, he's Austrian.
Baha JD.
He's sick though.
Moth came out with a different country of origin for him.
Okay. But, no, like, we can't animate. And so, like, everybody says that happened in the last, like, 2 decades, like, when Princess and the Frog came out. No, I think we lost the ability to animate when Rock and Rule came out. Because I've been looking at clips of this, I don't want to call it an animation, but, like, they show people driving in cars, and you can tell they're supposed to be driving at, like, 300 miles an hour. And instead of showing that, they just, like, pan the camera slowly at the characters' faces while they're driving. It's like, it looks like such a furry porn train wreck. I need to watch it.
See, I've seen actual furry porn train wrecks, and it's just like, and here's the deal, Moth. I just want to be clear about something. The way that the YouTube algorithm works, no, like there isn't this huge group of people that have been recommended this furry movie from the 80s. You have been looking at some cursed shit, and the algorithm has picked up on your hidden tastes. Look, and now you're angry that it's calling you out.
Look, like 90% of my YouTube that isn't like my subscriptions, like Stamper and JonTron and stuff like that, like 90% of what I watch on YouTube is either model painting videos, zit popping videos, or like Japanese music videos with moe anime girls. Like that's it. So I don't.
Popping videos are pretty poppin'.
I mean, like, a lot of the time, if I'm gonna watch like an animation or something like that, I'm just gonna click the Newgrounds link at the bottom of the YouTube video so I can watch the actual animation. So
sorry, my mouth is a little dry from too much salt.
Thinking about that furry cock.
I mean, no, like no animal penis. Like, yes, I'm bisexual, but I've never seen an animal penis and thought, man, I'd like that to be inside my mouth.
You've never thought, like, I just want to lose all oxygen supply as the knot swells?
No.
Really?
I've seen dog penis. My old Shih Tzu had a dick that was almost as long as he was. It's disgusting.
Yeah, can't relate exactly the same way. No.
No, really? All right.
I do want to like complain though, because I actually follow a lot of like animators on Twitter, just because I like that space. Got spoiler right. There's a lot of American animators that are really talented that are working on not necessarily animated projects even, but will be working on stuff like movie storyboards and other things like that, and more independent projects that you don't see coming to television or movies as much because 2D animation isn't as widespread anymore.
Well, it's
there's still cartoons and stuff, but usually those are done with more limited animation, which is fine. Same with anime.
I mean,
really.
fuck, VisiPop exists, and it's like your favorite thing from this entire year, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, because and the reason I support it is watching Has Been Hotel, and even Hell of a Boss, which I thought was actually better than Has Been Hotel. It took Moth back to 2002, where Moth is sitting in his tech middle/high school, where they just brought in a bunch of delinquents halfway through the school year and nothing got done. And Moth is sitting here on the old Apple computers that looked like waste bins, like the ones that had the multicolor backgrounds, and just being on Newgrounds because God knows what an internet search filter is back in 2002, and just watching Newgrounds animations. That's honestly what Has Been Hotel brought back to me, is just low tier. It's actually high tier. It's really good, but it's just these Newgrounds animations that these new animators are doing back before CalArts was a scam. I liked it.
Wait. Do you think the art college is a scam?
Here's the thing. People who have graduated from CalArts, and my wife is friends with a lot of them on Twitter and associates with them. You talk to almost anybody who graduated CalArts, the only thing they get out of it is connections to go work on the freaking new Thundercats show on Cartoon Network.
Those connections actually do a lot of work, though, to be honest, because animation is super competitive.
When it comes to directing, a little bit less, but it comes to animating, video game production, stuff like that, you don't go to college to get more knowledge. You go to college so that you have a piece of paper and you meet people, and then you can show fuddy-duddy white people, rich white old people, that you can actually do it, and they're like, hump, you can work on this fucking weird thing that's going to get canceled and then remade by our 3D team, and it's going to be awful.
What are you talking about specifically here, Mike? There's something that's burning your butthole.
I don't... The Sonic redesign sucks.
Wait, what?
And, yeah.
What? No, that's Tyson Hess, you dumb Mongol. That's Tyson Hess.
Tyson Hess is also a good American animator.
Tyson Hess isn't an American animator. He's from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to the Seasonal Depression Podcast. I'm your host, Sad Santa. Joining me as always is Ho Ho Himbo.
It's not even the Moth anymore, it's Ho Ho Himbo. How do you get Mothman out of Ho Ho Himbo?
And join me underneath the mistletoe for a nice little BJ.
Oh, I know what Frog looks like, and that just made me cringe.
I know what Frog looks like, and it gave me a boner.
Speaking of not cringing at what Frog looks like, Frog has an e-girlfriend.
Hey.
I mean, we meet in real life.
Oh, you do? Okay. So she's from
She just spent the weekend here, a day ago. I dropped her off yesterday, or today even, actually.
She's from a different city, so we wouldn't know her.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't know her.
We wouldn't know her if she was from the same city.
City is generous.
Okay, wait.
Providence.
Providence?
Yeah,
I don't know what you fucking Canucks call shit.
Provinces are states equivalent things. They're just bigger. She lives in a different town. Cities are big.
Yeah, but how do Canadians' provinces work? Do you just segregate them by the ones that speak French and the ones who speak English?
Yeah, basically.
And then the ones that speak Farsi?
Yeah, basically the ones that have oh yeah, and then the other ones are oh yeah.
What about the ones that speak Tagalog?
That's Alaska.
Is that a language?
Yes.
I thought it was it's a catalog.
It's a Filipino language.
Oh, they speak that in the Philippines, I would assume.
Dude, I'm just... Wait, can I put the Philippines on blast real quick?
I'd prefer you didn't.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Fun
They've had
fact,
it too good for too long.
there's actually a lot of really good Filipino animators.
And porn.
I'll take your word for it, I guess.
No. My little brother grew up here in Alaska, and Alaska is actually like, I would say that white people are almost a minority, especially if you remove like all the meth heads who live in their own trailers and like blow themselves up. Like white people, like normal functioning white people are a minority in Alaska. Like I don't associate with the heroin addicts. But the majority, I would say, are Asiatic people. And I would say there's probably more Filipinos here in Alaska than any other Asiatic country. And they don't have they have like one restaurant in the entire city of Anchorage. Like there's like 50 sushi houses, 37 Chinese restaurants, but there's one Filipino restaurant. And my little brother has a bunch of friends who are Filipino because they all went into the art program at UAA here for some God-known reason. But he has a bunch of friends who went to the art program UAA who are all Filipino. And these guys swear up and down that Filipino food is the most superior food. Like, you cannot beat Filipino food. And so we went to the one Filipino restaurant in Anchorage. And I was like, all right, I'll bite. Let me see what we got here. And everything is just various meats cooked in pig's blood.
Hell
Literally
yeah.
everything on the menu. And, like, I'm the kind of guy, like, I'm from Germany. I like Blut sausage. Like, I actually like blood sausage.
Did you just... That's not even how Germans pronounce... I hate you.
Sausage.
Blut sausage. No, but, like...
Bluten sausage.
I actually know the real phrasing for it. I'm just going to beat somebody.
Hingadingadorgan.
But,
Wait, did you just go Hingadingadurgan?
We're
That's
Swiss now. We're Swedish.
That's a different group of people that start weird wars.
But, like, okay. So boiling things in pig's blood is an acceptable way to make meat if you season it. If you put any level of seasoning in it, like, what's that weird yellow seasoning, hummus or something,
I don't
like curry powder. Like just put like yellow curry powder in the blood or something. Like it'll look like diarrhea, but put it in there. And it's
this Moth. You're showing your whiteness in saying that curry powder is a single seasoning.
Well, like yellow curry powder, peanut curry powder. I mean, you know what, masamon, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Like, but it's just everything is cooked in blood, and they're all served on these trays that look like it's an open buffet for flies. And they just, like, slop it on there like you're in a prison cafeteria line. Just, you'd like your blood food. And it's like $20 a plate, too. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to say it right now. Filipino food, bad.
Are you sure it's not? It's like actually representative of the greater Filipino population.
One situation definitely is a good group to base your entire bias around. Is one example.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You heard it here first, folks. Moth, the white man, went to the single Filipino restaurant in Anchorage, Alaska, and now he has written off the whole cuisine of an entire population
Everyone knows
of people.
Anchorage, Alaska is the home to the finest Filipino cuisine.
Look, there's
It is the staple city.
There's at least 30 Filipinos in Anchorage, Frog. You don't understand.
There's at least 30 people in Anchorage.
There's like 300,000 people living in Anchorage, like 350,000 if you include like Wasilla and Palmer and Eagle River and like in the same jurisdiction. And like at least 30,000 of those people are Filipino. You'd think there'd be two restaurants. There's not, because Filipino food is bad.
I mean, dude, I lived in like a place called Happy Valley Goose Bay for 7 years of my life. No, like this is the whitest place on earth. I want to say 95 or more %. And like there was like a bunch of Chinese restaurants. I don't think it matters how population.
Frog, can you repeat the name of that town? Because
Happy
Valley Goose Town.
Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Yeah,
no, have a stroke. It's okay.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like if you have like a 9-year-old and they're writing their own like variant of Harry Potter or something, and that's the town they live in with their self-insert.
Yeah,
you know,
it's weird because
people
actually
have been
two
telling me
little
my whole
places.
life that white people come from England, but I think they just come from Canada.
Oh yeah, no, it's weird because like it's actually two places. There's Happy Valley - Goose Bay, like hyphen Goose Bay.
Oh.
Actually,
I thought you were gonna say it then Sad River or something.
Actually, It has been proven scientifically that white people are an anomaly. We just show up whenever like rare earth resources are found.
We show up whenever there are minorities to oppress.
Yeah, like what's apartheid? I don't know, but it makes things run better. Am I right, guys?
We gotta pull it back.
No, this is the Christmas special, and Moth doesn't care. I'm on 3 hours of sleep.
Jingle bells, the fucking Portuguese smell.
Wow, all right.
I forgot what people were talking about. The food that
Mike,
sucks.
you're forgetting our target demographic though. Like, we are the We Hate Anime podcast. We appeal to weebs. I will have you know there is no less than like 5 Facebook groups on Facebook that are about weebs crapping on Filipinos. So like. It's totally fine for weebs to crap on Filipinos. It's like part of the norm. We don't stand out.
I've been on anime Twitter. We could make fun of anyone that isn't a white person or a black person, and we'd get lots of fans.
Dude, anime Twitter sucks, dude. I don't know what's happening, man. I don't know what's going on with anime Twitter.
I have a stroke every single time I see another post that says Tanjiro better than Deku or vice versa.
To be fair, he is though.
I mean, yeah.
Yes,
like Tanjiro is better Deku.
They don't say it because they understand why. They say it
because
because
they like him.
see the
want to see him
characters as the
sucking a
same.
dick.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
The big
I
thing,
actually, you know what?
there was
I
a
would
post
rather
saw.
see.
Did you like it? I think you also liked it. It was just a video of someone posting like, "Oh, it was such an underrated fight," and it was just like like the Rock Lee versus the Sand guy.
That was a good fight though. That was like the first time they used up their entire animation budget for a fight.
I know, but like that's the thing. Everyone loves that fight. That's the thing, and then it's like, oh, so underrated. It's just
that fight literally set the precedence for how Naruto was going to do their animation for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
You mean they were gonna copy from Cowboy Bebop films?
What are you talking about?
Are you not aware of that?
Cowboy Bebop doesn't have films. It was a 24-episode anime.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cowboy Bebop film. There is a film. It's the only bit of Cowboy Bebop I like.
Wait, is that the one where there's a giant, where they actually have them flying in their spaceships for a battle, like, during the movie?
I don't remember. Most of it takes place in Paris.
Oh, that's dumb.
It's a good movie. It's a fantastic movie. There's a fight scene where Spike is fighting some girl, and it's dead-ass a Neji versus Gaara fight, I believe it is. Straight up just copies the exact same choreography, like cell to cell. It's
Neji fight Gaara?
It's wild. But yeah, that's the anime Twitter. It's you're definitely not missing. You know what? Actually, Moth, I think you are missing something, because I think if you were actually part of anime Twitter, I think it would tip the scales in such a way that chaos could reorder everything.
I would control anime Twitter. But
you would be, honestly, with your weird ass opinions on shit, you would make a single post and it would somehow go viral, and it would just be. It would just be like all shonen protagonists are secretly gay or something.
No, I don't believe that. But I'm glad you bring that up. I think the worst group, though, like, because throughout the years, there's like the group of people that don't deserve human rights.
Oh,
and
I don't know where.
And over like the last like 28 years, it was like the Homestuck fandom, and this is in no like relative organized time frame, but these are the people that don't deserve human rights, like the Homestuck fandom, the My Little Pony fandom, the Undertale fandom. No, Mike, no, that's incel talk. Don't do that.
Hey, I'm not an incel. I'm a volcel, motherfucker.
The woman fandom.
But the e-girl fandom.
Are you a fan of women? Fucking cringe.
Racist.
But the one that's been like, it's just and it's just because, you know, like I don't know, like horny 15-year-old guys is one thing, like horny 15 to 17-year-old girls is another. Just like, what the hell is happening? And so, like, the Hero Academia the Hero Academia fandom does not deserve rights.
Preach.
Like,
I definitely agree, but you are like overestimating the number of people who are in that fandom and are also female. Like,
No.
yes, there are a lot of them because it's a popular shonen that isn't super. It actually has female characters in it that aren't terrible.
like no, they are terrible. Like, almost every single female character is awful, except like Froppy and Acid Girl.
Why?
Because they're not like okay.
Because I don't like them.
No. Think about all right.
Because
all
they
right.
don't appeal to my weird fetish.
No, because Tamago or whatever her name is in it. So yeah, there are ones that appeal to my weird fetishes.
Are you talking about?
Tamago.
Himiko.
Toga.
Yes.
I love
Wow,
Toga.
where did you get that? You just called her Tamago, and I think that's the name of one of the characters from Big Hero 6.
Oh no, I just want to be in her eggs. So whatever.
Same, bro.
But like here's
She's
the
like
thing.
16, isn't she?
She's 18 in my mind.
All right, bro. That's
They're
fine.
fictional, so who fucking cares?
But like I want you to like reel back for a second, like crane your mind backwards, and I want you to think about like imagine for once in your life you were competitive about something. Like just try to
that's hard.
pretend that you are competitive about something.
I
And then-
am competitive about many things.
You're not. But let's
I've watched him stream fighting games. He's
Okay.
not as much of a fucking like I am the beta. Not you guys.
but like
Don't bring that shit here.
but like
I've been trying to overcome that for so long.
but think of like actually being competitive about something and wanting to achieve your goals. And think about like and then like getting into a program filled with like-minded people who are also competitive and want to achieve their goals. And then think about the girls in My Hero Academia. And the only girls that really personify like I need to work hard, I need to be the best are Froppy, Alien Girl, Pink Princess, whatever they called her, and like a couple of girls from 2B, weirdly enough, like the second hero classroom.
Are you forgetting the whole like big story beat where Ochiko only wants to be a hero so that she can help pay for her family so they don't have to do manual labor anymore? Or if you get in that kind of small detail about her character,
Yeah, but that's not motivation enough. Like it's just
What?
like you could literally be a
what
B-list
scale?
sidekick and pull that off.
my family are in poverty and are forcing themselves to work like heavily dangerous manual labor so that I can go to school. That's not good a motivation to be a hero.
Right,
Make
and,
money.
and so she should be super motivated, and instead, all you ever see is her wanting to suck off Deku, which aggravates the fangirls because they
What?
believe that Deku's tongue should be swabbing around Kachan's foreskin.
Wait. I mean, to begin with, the like cancerous ship isn't Kachan and Deku, it's Kachan and Ochiko. Let's just get that out of the way.
There's a bunch.
No. Kachan and Uraraka's best ship. I'm gonna be real with you.
Suck my
need
penis,
to
my
go
tiny
the
little
fuck
froggy
away.
dick hole penis.
His tiny little froggy dick hole penis and my equally as small penis. Suck them both.
Because like honestly, if Deku marries Uraraka, he will have literally married his own mother. Absolutely. They even have the same power.
What?
What?
Deku's mom and Uraraka have the exact same power.
No,
Mom
they
has-
don't.
Has like psychic. Like
No,
what's it
no.
called?
Deku's mom has
Telepathy or something.
the ability
She
to
can levitate things.
levitate small objects.
It's like just
And
small
that's it.
form. It's like what's it called again? The word is like
Yes.
not getting to me.
And Uraraka can levitate objects. They have the exact same power.
No, no,
she
no,
can
no, no,
cancel
no.
gravity in object.
yes.
Yes, that
she
also
cancels
known
the-
as levitation.
No,
That-
it's very
That's
different.
not
in
what
concept.
levitation is.
Levitation is the canceling of gravity.
No,
Oh.
no, it's not. Levitation is a force acting upon an object against gravity. Well, or
Yes,
getting rid of gravity
therefore
altogether.
canceling
makes it so-
gravity.
No, if I lift you up, do I cancel gravity?
Yes, you apply force, and actually you don't.
No,
because you are simply transferring the mass onto yourself. The amount of effort
Yes,
required
that's
to
what
keep me
that's
vertical.
what his mom does. Except it's with a metaphysical power instead of physical abilities.
Right, it's levitation, same as Uraraka.
No.
I don't. I just. I want you to.
This is a dumb
not-
distinction.
I
don't know why you're arguing with this here. The animator clearly has a mommy fetish, like, or the mangaka here. So, like, I don't know what's
considering
going on.
she becomes a hamster after like he's an adult, like a child. Like, no, I don't,
know
think
about that.
so. Like,
I
if
think he's got like
if-
I don't know, man. He likes girls with thighs and stuff.
All right. But,
I think adult. I think Deku's mom is pot both as an actual normal human being and as a hamster, but because I like motherly love and shit, because I'm weird, and by weird I mean please won't someone just love me for who I am.
Because God forgive an individual, like, you know,
Loves me. I agree.
gets the affection they need and deserve in life.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Who needs affection when you can be a man? Am I right?
When you can host an anime podcast, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Oh
yeah,
no,
all
that's
right.
that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Sick.
Holy shit.
So, seeing as this entire podcast has gone completely off the rails, can I talk about a few things that I've been doing, seeing as you treacherous
please.
bastards recorded an episode without me?
Well, I mean,
You have a life and a family and a beautiful home and people who care about you, and it's the holiday.
No, actually,
it's okay,
so
buddy. It's okay.
without going too much into detail about what happens, I fixed medical equipment. And right now is the single worst time to be fixing medical equipment because it's basically Christmas for baby boomers right now. I mean, literally and metaphorically.
I mean, yeah, it's Christmas for everyone right now. Actually,
because what happens is the couple of them that aren't abusing Medicaid and Social Security, which is a system that originally wasn't designed for them, but they're the me generation, so they got a handout meant for homeless people to get back on their feet as a retirement fund. The couple of them that actually have a health insurance policy have all met their deductible, and now they're just going to the doctors to have their prostate touched. Like,
Oh yeah, no. What Moth is saying here is 100% true. This time last year, I was doing a call center job for CVS Health Insurance. And literally every single time I talk to an old person, they're like, "Hey, can I get this drug? I'm about to reach my deductible, and I just want to see if I can still get it." Like, yeah, he's 100% right on this.
yeah, so it's so once they reach their deductible, they just like walk into the hospital because all their bills are paid. And
Hell
so like they start running my equipment, and I call it my equipment because I install and maintain it. They start running my equipment.
And because he fucks.
I mean, I have considered it, but yeah, so they start running this equipment into the ground. They don't turn it off. They don't check the cooling levels. They don't do anything. They just run the systems to the ground. And then I get no warning, and suddenly my systems go down, and I'm working till 3 a.m. trying to get the system up for a private practice clinic. So it's like, it's the worst. But yeah, so around Christmas time, it's very difficult for me to record.
We should just kill all the old people.
oh, I'm at it. Let's go.
But I did accomplish a couple of things in like the month, because I guess if I miss an episode, it's a month. In the month that I was gone, one of them is I liquid cooled my PC.
Huh.
Okay, why don't you just store your PC outside, you fucking northern Alaskan bullshit?
Yeah, idiot.
Because right now, the hailstorm that we used to get in Alaska every year has moved to Wisconsin, and like people are apparently dying about it.
Wait, how? Like, where do you think Wisconsin is? That's a big ass fucking storm from Alaska to Wisconsin.
I have no idea.
Because Wisconsin's in the middle of the United States.
Yeah,
so
and apparently Wisconsin is just getting dumped on. Because, like, the Red Letter Media Cast lives in Wisconsin. And they're, like, consistently in every episode for the last 3 months have been like, yeah, we're dying. People are dying in the streets from the cold and the thunderstorms.
To be fair, they do that every year.
Up until, like, 5 years ago, that was Alaska's weather every year. Like, I don't even put studs on my tires anymore. Mostly because I got sick of them screaming whenever I would roll to 180 degrees.
Yeah, studded tires. Down here in Arkansas, because here in Arkansas, we'll get some ice. We never get snow. So, like, studding your tires is not even a thing. Like, I work in a shop, and I've only seen a studded tire once.
Yeah,
in the 6 years I've been doing it.
Yeah, so it's effectively pointless. But
Yeah, we just wrap chains around our tires like human beings.
Just like drive, dude. It's okay.
so,
Dude, what the fuck is ice, bro?
I mean, I'm in Canada. I know a lot about ice. Okay.
yeah, but
just
you're
don't be a
East
pussy.
Canada, like.
I lived in Labrador
You
for
are-
7 years.
you're
Like,
like-
get up to
you're
minus
the
You
50
live
Argentines,
temperatures.
inside
all
a
right?
dog?
You're
Yes.
the Argentina of Canada.
What does that mean?
So, moving on.
What? No.
What is the... I'm confused by that, too,
Okay.
but I'm willing to move along.
All right. So Argentina is one of the few countries that's like 5 hours ahead of Alaska, and Frog over here can't live in a normal freaking time zone. He lives in the Argentina time zone.
I live at AST.
Yeah.
Muff,
Argentina
what do you mean
Standard
by
Time.
one of the few countries that are 5 hours ahead? I'm exactly 5 hours ahead, you fucking...
No, but 5 hours
Nincombramus.
ahead of me.
So
Frog is
EST is rare.
No, AST is what Frog is on, and it's
Yes.
the Argentina Standard Time.
No, it's Atlantic Standard Time.
I'm
No,
getting
I'm pretty sure it's
PTSD from this
Argentina.
conversation.
Definitely not Argentina.
So I liquid cooled my PC, which sucks because my processor is like 3 years old and I need to upgrade it, so I have to like remove that.
Thought you were
cooling
going to say
block.
prostate. I have no idea why.
Yes, I needed a new prostate, so I
Yeah.
just went to Argentina and it's like, hey
Someone
kid,
there
Is
about a
that where they're
barrel
doing
full.
those surgeries
hey
now?
kid, do you want a Dragon Ball Z figure? Just get in the van.
Wait. Is that implying that I wouldn't mind a Dragon Ball Z figure shoved up my ass as long
No.
as it's Boo?
But my buddy, who I play like PUBG with and everything, lives in Argentina and like came to me 2 weeks ago. Was like, Moth, you will not believe this. I watched a man get stabbed over the last Goku figure at a store, and it was like it was Goku
They do love their
Black,
Dragon Ball
I
over there.
guess. I
Goku
guess it was
Black
like,
of all things? Come on.
yeah.
That is pretty wild. It's kind of weird how Argentina's in South America, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm
So-
gonna warn you right now here. Like everything you're thinking about is actually Brazil, not Argentina.
No, I was gonna say South America in general because we have our buddy Quake. He's from Chile, and he it's kind of weird how many weebs exist in South America.
No, dude, South
It's-
America
it's-
is full of them, dude.
Yeah, like
I know some of them personally.
Well, here's the thing. Like, go to like any like actual I guess like repository of porn that's drawn, and just like I think it falls under like the Western category if you're like on like Pahil or something. But it's like the
Wait, what websites do you go to? Because I've never heard of
Pahil is just Rule 34, the website.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Rule 34's website. But like when you select the Western tag and just like go to the Dragon Ball section or even like the One Piece section, it is all drawn by like South Americans, and it's just they look like blow up dolls, and it's amazing. Like
Black Goku.
I can honestly tell when something comes out of South America by how it looks. Because like it just looks like Angelina Jolie with a wig swap, every single one of them.
Bless you, South American people. Jorge, if you hear this, hope you're doing well.
On the contrary,
I-
fuck you, South American people.
This is, I really should not have watched like a Stamper video before I did this because
Did you watch
normally,
the cookie one too?
yeah, the cookie, because like normally I try to be like sensitive and I try not to reveal my power levels because the last thing I want is for us to get canceled.
Oh, don't say that phrase.
The last thing I want is like for us to get canceled because a bunch of people can't take a joke. Like I don't want Frog to have his fighting game career completely ruined because like his co-host once said a slur. And
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My glowing fighting game career where I'm
and I don't want
coming soon.
I don't want Mike's like all the e-girls that he subscribes to like cancel his payment because they found out that like Moth hangs out with incels. Like
Wait.
Wait,
The way
so
you worded that implies that e-girls are paying me to
no
look.
that you're paying them and they're actually so disgusted by you that they cancel your payment.
Okay. That's
Like,
fair.
I'm gonna need
I
that
mean, I don't
bathwater
follow.
back.
I follow like one e-boy and half of an e-girl, so that's fine.
What does that mean?
It means he's transitioning.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, oof.
Wait a minute. That's not. Wait. I just realized what you
This
just
is the
said.
episode of the podcast where I explain dog whistles.
Oh boy. I almost slipped by me for a second there.
Ooh.
I was like tired enough where I was like, that makes sense. No, wait a minute.
So
okay.
the other thing I've been doing is I bought Zero Caliber for the Oculus Rift. And
What is
that
that?
is that a gun thing?
it's actually
Sounds like
it's
a no gun. Actually, no gun can possibly be zero caliber, idiot.
well, that's the point of the game. Is basically they try to make every weapon you can get in the world, and they want to make it like fully customizable and modular. And by that they mean give it a bump stock, or just give it a butt stock, give it a vertical foregrip, and like either an ACOG or a standard scope. Like that's the entire premise of the game. But can I talk about like how developers need to go lift weights? I don't know what it is, but the recoil in Zero Caliber is insane. Like I get if you're trying to one hand something and you're just trying to like single hand wield a gun. And I think Pavlov had this issue as well. But like as somebody who's trained with automatic weapons, including the M240 Bravo, you know, one of the loudest damn guns an American infantry guy can carry, like, recoil is not as insane as it's portrayed in this game, especially if you have a vertical foregrip. Like, I can't hit anything after the second bullet because, like, my guy just has a seizure and throws his gun at the wall.
Frog lives in a country where guns don't exist, and I don't have any opinions on guns despite being a southerner. So I'm gonna say okay.
What he said.
All right. Let me
Guns
talk
like don't
about
exist.
Let me talk about a gun you might know then, Mike. Sawed-off shotguns.
Hell yeah!
There we go.
I'm really familiar with those. That's not a joke. I am. I've killed many a fucking rat with my daddy's old shot off.
I can just imagine, like, Mike over here, like, just building PVC pipe shotguns that can only fire once.
Yeah.
It is bold of you to assume we could afford
This
PVC.
is gonna sound like
Fuck!
I know we just made a joke about like Canadians not knowing about guns, like not knowing jack shit. But coincidentally, I've been addicted to Nerf gun videos in the past like month or so, and they're really really fun.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Frog. Nerf guns are not real guns.
I know. You weren't the first to break it to me. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But
Nerf
they have their
gun-
own whole lingos for it. It's kind of cool. There's tons of there's like
Yeah,
these
it's
pretty
super,
big YouTubers.
It's super fucking cool. These glorified dart guns are awesome.
They're cool, man. I don't know. Fuck you.
Fucking cuck.
They're fun,
Today's-
okay? They're fun and they're innocent.
Today's just take a dump on Frog's chest day.
Apparently so.
Every
I'm having a
time
stroke
me
of
and
good
Frog
luck
are
in real
alone.
life, and now it's time for me to just have my proverbial spanking, I guess.
Ooh, harder, daddy.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
But
Both me and Moth had a boner the minute you brought up spanking.
Yeah, figures.
yeah, that's a fetish
way too horny.
I actually don't understand. Like, I think I can understand pain as a fetish because, like,
You know what? Let's do it. Let's talk about fetishes.
I'm the one who started
That's
dating
the
someone, and somehow I'm
Christmas
like the
podcast.
least horny guy here.
yeah, because you're dating someone. I'm married.
I'm not gonna ask.
Frog, you've blown more loads than both of us combined.
What?
I'm gonna hit doubt on this one.
I don't think so.
But
I'm sorry to hear about that.
I started jerking off really late, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about in a sexual capacity,
But-
I mean,
not in a jerk off. Because I've killed
Whoa,
vast
whoa.
genocides, man, of semen out of my pecadanus.
you know, I could just tell the story about how I learned what masturbation was at Boy Scout camp, but
Excuse me, baking powder.
what? No, I learned what masturbation was at Boy Scout camp.
Makes sense.
What was?
So like, so Alaska, you know, once again, the one nice thing about Alaska is we actually have an untamed wilderness, and we
Said
have
the
this-
word wrong.
and we have a really nice like Boy Scout
Wilderness.
camp. We did. The Mormons no longer associate with the Boy Scouts, but we did have a really nice Boy Scout camp by a lake and everything, and it was like the proverbial Boy Scout camp where like there was even a Girl Scout camp across the lake, but the whole I'm gonna swim across the lake to meet the Girl Scout camp is completely stupid because you're only there for a week, so you don't care. But I was at Boy Scout camp, and they basically just have showers, and you walk in at the main camp, and you just shower and go. And one day, like me and two other guys, like we're walking in to go shower, and there's just this like overweight, like he kind of looked like the guy who did Willow, the Warwick whatever. He kind of looks like that, except like maybe a little bit taller. Same body type and whatnot though. This guy is like standing, not even in a corner or like against a wall or anything. He is like dead center of the shower. So if you like walk in, you have to see this. And he's just tugging to town at 100 miles an hour, like just
oh my god,
going at it, just like, and he's like going the whole time he's doing it too. Like I like he was from a different Boy Scout group or something, but I don't know if this guy was like mentally challenged or what, but he's just like, as he's like angrily jerking it. And I had no idea what was going on, so I just like walk by him and start showering like 5 feet away from him, totally within the blast zone. That's the worst part, is I didn't realize like at the time that I was in the blast zone. And the two guys I was with left, and I didn't know why. And so like when I got back to camp, they were laughing, and they're like, dude, did you not know what was going on? And I was like, no, I mean, maybe he got his dick stuck in Devil's Club or something and he was itching. And he's like, nah, man, he was jerking off. and then like...
oh, he scratched himself.
And I just, that's how I learned. I learned by some dude going gorilla mode in the showers at a Boy Scout camp.
That's a really disturbing story.
I got another disturbing story if you guys like to hear it. This was like the one thing that I actually wanted to bring up this episode.
Last Christmas, I wasn't this disturbed.
Okay, so in today's day and age, porn games are really easy to get a hold of. Like,
hell yeah.
I would list off a few of the easiest sites to get a hold of them, but I don't want them to go down because I don't know how to use the internet anymore as a boomer.
Just go to Nya, where you can get all the Japanese porn games you want.
Yeah, but like, have a good time finding the English ones, or the ones where they don't put like language lock stuff to keep gaijin from pirating their games.
On Nya, on that particular torrent site, you can actually search by English translated.
Yeah, but then like maybe one game comes out every 2 weeks that's English translated.
You should check out Nya's library, dog. It's pretty weird. I'm pretty sure some rich Russian man owns that repository, and he chooses not to like put viruses on it and shit.
Yeah,
it's fucking wild.
Or you could just use FAP for fun.
Putin himself.
Like that's the only one that I'm gonna like drop where I'm okay with it getting deleted, because there's like 3 other sites that have their content and you don't have to use a torrent to get it. But yeah, basically, like, nowadays, it's a lot easier to get a hold of porn. But, like, back when I was a kid, and I'm, like, 13 years old again at this tech school, like, all we had was the Rants series. Like, we had nothing. We had crappy visual novels that are in, like, 400 by 600 letterbox, and we had, like, the Rants visual novels. Like, that was it. That was it. And so, I remember being a kid and reading, like, PC Magazine when I was 12 years old, 12, 13. And there was a game that was, and I'd just been playing Harvest Moon 64, like, nonstop. Like, I was loving Harvest Moon 64. And I was reading about this game in PC Magazine called Brave Soul. And it was like, yeah, this game is the ultimate dating sim, blah, 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 blah. And I honestly thought it was like a GBA game because of how terrible the graphics looked. But, like, I was like, oh, man, it's a dating sim. You get to play, like, this action RPG. There's a cat girl in it. Like, this sounds awesome.
Hell yeah.
So, back in the day, and still to this day, if you really are that weird, we had IRC, Internet Relay Chat. And you had to go to, like, domains. You had to, like, pull up a client, go to a domain, log in, know the different channels, codes to get into them and whatnot. And one of the girls I had a huge crush on at the time, I was like, and this was a tech school, so everybody knew how to do stuff. I got a hold of her. I'm like, hey, I really want to play this RPG, but I can't find it at a game store. I went to GameStop, and they don't have Brave Soul. By the way, we're going to let this out right now. Brave Soul is porn. Brave Soul is like
wait. This conversation started with you talking about porn games. I think we caught on.
Okay, just making sure. Like it is porn. But I was talking to her. I was like, hey, I got this game I want to play. It's an RPG. Like, can you help me find it? And she goes, I'm not very good at this, but I got a friend in one of my IRCs who could find anything. So my friend gives me the IRC, and there's somebody called like Brain Surgeon in the IRC, and they're like, yeah, I can find anything. And back then we didn't torrent stuff. You literally had to open up your desktop through like a VPN to pull a file off somebody else's desktop, and the whole way it's a two-way street, so they can mess up your computer. Like this is dangerous stuff back in the day.
Hell yeah.
And they find it, and they're like, this game's in Japanese, right? I'm like, is there an English translation? And they get back to me 2 days later. They're like, yeah, I got you the game, blah, 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 blah. Open up desktops and we can share it. And we start sharing it, and I get the game. It takes like 3 days to transfer this game, and it's like maybe 800 megabytes. I start playing it, and right away, like, the very first thing that happens is the main character's having a dream with, like, a naked chick in a hot spring. And I'm like, and I, like, immediately closed the game. And I don't remember if I deleted it or not, but I immediately closed the game and was done with it. And the next
is this before or after you learned what masturbation was? I need the timeline here.
This is after. I was still kind of like...
That's very important information, yeah.
So the next day I go back to school, and my crush is giggling at me. And I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, so how's your
He found your folder of moth pictures.
She's like, so how's that Brave Soul going? And like everyone else is giggling at me. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And apparently Brain Surgeon was her mother.
Whoa.
And so her mother had like found this game for me. And after she had transferred it to me, she was like, why did I get this kid anyway? And like she had opened the game. And she was like, oh, he wanted porn. What a horny little 13-year-old. Here's the thing. PC Magazine didn't say anything about that. They just said it was a dating sim. And so, like, my stupid, still highly, innocent Mormon ass, I'm like, yeah. So it's just, and then, like, I get branded at school as a massive pervert, despite the fact I'm at a tech school where everybody's a massive pervert.
You've basically got kink-shamed by the furry community.
Yeah, it's like what a furry is like. Can you believe this guy's fetish? He only likes looking at chicken feet.
Holy fuck! That would make me so uncomfortable if someone's mom had given me porn. Holy shit! Oh fuck! That reminds me of like so I grew up in this tiny little trailer. I mean, it was a decent sized trailer. I didn't grow up in it, but like I spent
was it a single wide or like a double wide?
I have had the great joy of having lived in nothing but double wide trailers in the times I've lived in them, including now.
Okay.
But regardless, before we started living there was this guy who lived with it was my grandma's trailer. Before we moved in with her, there was a guy who lived with her named Danny, and I think he was my uncle, or my sister may have just called him that. Whatever. Mm-hmm. He died on the bed in the room that I eventually got, which is weird, but that happened.
Was it like a heroin overdose?
No, he's just an old man.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I assumed somebody dying in a trailer is a heroin overdose.
Nah, I mean, yes, you're not mistaken. But no, after he died and I had moved into his room, there was still a bunch of his stuff in the closet, and it was a tiny closet. And I would just dig in there occasionally and be like, okay, this is a bunch of garbage. At one time, I found a black toolbox-like suitcase. And I opened it up, and I found like cursed material. So anyone listening to this, you probably don't remember, but back in the day, you had to get your porn through magazines. Like, that's just how you got your porn. Usually in logs in the woods. For some reason, that was a thing.
Man, this is like Midwest, because like I don't know. If
Well, you live in Alaska where it's dangerous to go outside, so obviously you wouldn't have found no porn logs.
Yeah, like I was still in like the VHS section of things, where like you could just get like VHSs, or you just masturbated to the shower scene of Terminator.
There have been many groups of children. If I don't finish that thought, it sounds awful. There have been many groups of underage boys that come across water-damaged porn and just sit around the stash and look at it and then go home and touch the little peeners. I didn't have any friends, so I wasn't part of those groups, but I've heard of them. But regardless, back to this case of wonder.
Yeah.
This is like... So, everyone has a fetish. And it was in this moment that I learned this old man's fetish. And it's very weird to learn about someone's depraved fetish after they're dead. Like, what do you even do with that? You don't even have the ability to process that. So this man has a collection, like 30 magazines of fat porn. And I'm a fat kid. So, like, there's layers to this. There's so many layers to this discomfort.
There's literally layers, Mike.
This discomfort, much like me and ogres, is like an onion.
I was just making a fat joke. I was literally making a fat joke with the layers.
Oh.
I could just imagine your grandpa up in, like, hell or something right now, just like, yes. I wasn't able to get that tubby little queer while he was alive, but now I can watch him masturbate to my magazines in my room.
What's
He is sleeping on loads of my unwashed semen.
Oh, fuck. My actual, like, we're talking about my uncle here. I think it might have been, like, my grandma's maybe boyfriend, because I don't think they were related. Anyway, regardless, my actual grandpa died building a basketball, hoop board, whatever you call those things.
Wait, how do you die building a basketball hoop?
He was 11 billion years old.
Yes, I may be geriatric, but I can still break the glass.
He had a heart attack as soon as he finished, and then died shortly before I was born.
I'm going to build this hoop. The hoop is built. I'm going to sit down before I break some kneecaps. I'm dead. Like, what?
What?
Don't let anyone tell you the right can't meme.
What even makes you think I'm remotely right?
Oh, just the meme of the joke I said.
Oh.
I could have said left. I just chose right at that moment.
Yeah, like, we do not get political at this podcast. That's the one thing I'm holding to.
So did you hear about the
I've broken every single rule on this podcast that I set up, but I'm not getting political.
I mean, you can just be quiet for a bit. Hey, Frog, you hear about that politic?
Oh, yeah,
politic
UK
in the
elections. Am I right, guys?
All right.
Oh, yeah, Farage.
You know what, I'm trying to keep us from getting
that.
canceled, and you guys are just...
Remember when they were like, yo, election time?
You remember when they said, bong, 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 it's 3 o'clock?
Yeah, dude. I'm all about that.
Fucking Brits. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. So I did some things. I did some stuff. Moth isn't the only one with experiences, though he had more experiences than we did by virtue of the fact that he was a bitch.
I could just go off on the stupid things I did all the time in high school. Like,
He has a lot of those stories. Meanwhile, I had no friends in high school, so I have very, very fewer.
But by the time I graduated high school, I couldn't walk down an alley without a girl that I pissed off, like, glaring at me.
Why the fuck are you walking down so many alleys?
I don't know, like, hallways?
I live in a city and that's weird.
Like, hallways? I couldn't walk down a hallway without a girl that I had, like, cheated on getting pissed at me.
Anywho, I watched the Netflix Witcher show.
Actually, I was actually planning on watching that.
Why?
Well, let me ask this question. Are either of you fans of The Witcher?
I have never played a single Witcher game in my life.
I would say, as someone who read the books and hated the video games, yeah, I am.
I need to. So actually, you will probably like the Netflix Witcher then, because it's adaptations of some of the original stories.
Oh man, I cannot wait to see my favorite redhead show up in The Witcher.
Are you talking about Triss?
Yeah, my favorite redhead. She's great.
She has she's in it, but she's very minor. It's mainly the Netflix Witcher is mainly about Yennefer, her origins, and also Geralt.
Oh, my favorite pale gothic chick. I wonder how she's doing in this series.
Oh, she's I mean, you already know. You know the adaptation. I mean, granted, they took some liberties from what I hear. Anyway, Frog, you should totally watch it. It is.
I plan on it.
I've not read the books yet. I do plan to now, because the stories were my favorite thing about the Netflix Witcher. You shouldn't go into it expecting really great action because the choreography is poorly shot.
It's Henry Cavill. The dude only knows how to shoot lasers out of his eyes.
No, actually, Henry Cavill's kind of great.
Is this like a Harry Potter actor situation? Or no. Or who's that guy who played Edward in Twilight?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing where he's actually everyone's like, oh, Robert Pattinson, the guy who played Edward, and then he's actually a sick actor.
I wouldn't go that far. Robert Pattinson is a fantastic actor whenever he's not being told to do what 12-year-olds want to do.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill as Geralt, he definitely. So, if you're familiar with Witcher, you know that there's a nuance to Geralt, the character, in that he plays into the stereotypes that Witchers have.
And he's a baby back bitch.
Excuse you, Geralt is literally one of the greatest main characters in fiction.
No, I'm gonna go with Dalinar.
I will not have you besmirch my favorite fucking autist, okay?
Nope, Dalinar, Stormlight Archive, best male character of all time.
Anywho.
Dalinar.
So
you hear this, Brandon Sanderson? I'm promoting your books. Please send me a signed copy of Oathbringer. Please.
Little did you know that Brandon Anderson is exactly
Sanderson,
the one we
you
have.
son of a...
I don't fucking care about your fucking... Let me let you into a little known fact about Western fucking medieval fiction. Most of it fucking sucks.
Wait. I got a question about this Netflix
Tolkien
series.
is a fucking hack. Harry Potter is bullshit.
Mike, shut up about your illiterate southerner rage here for a second. In the Netflix version of The Witcher, was there a story about a dude who turned into basically Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and the townsfolk would send their daughters to basically bone him for 2 years straight, and then he'd give them a huge dowry in exchange for it?
Okay, so what I've heard, that is not in it, and I've heard people talk about how that's one that they glossed over and should have been in.
Damn, that's my favorite story in the entire thing is it's the one time Geralt almost got his ass completely destroyed and got his life saved by literally the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
I have a feeling they'll probably, because the way they tell the story, my main criticism for the Netflix Witcher is that, you can correct me on this because I always haven't read the books yet, but Ciri as a character, does she exist throughout all of them, or just there's the story where she gets introduced and all that?
I don't really remember. I read it over a decade ago when the first game came out, and I was I should read this book before I play the game so I know what I'm doing. And then I was like, these are completely irrelevant with each other. The only thing the first game had that the books had was the first story in the books is the opening cutscene to the first game.
I mean, well, yeah, because the first game is a continuation of the story. The games are a continuation from where the stories leave off. Even I know that.
Yes.
Did you not know that,
Yes.
Look, I read the books, and the game was so boring, I didn't even bother with the other two.
Did you just assume they were bad adaptations because you didn't look into it?
Look, I read the books and then played the first game, and like I said, it was so boring that I just
the first
stopped.
game kind of sucks. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah,
And the second game,
no one that likes the games likes the first game.
Well, and you have to spend like 5 hours in the second game before you're finally playing, and by then the wind is completely out of your sails. Like,
The first game starts with Geralt getting out of bed with Triss, and then you immediately start walking around.
are you sure that's not the third game?
No, that's the second game. The third game starts with Geralt taking a bath. I remember, because that's a good bath.
The second game, you have a 5-hour tutorial you can't skip.
Nope. I've played the second game a lot. It starts out with you're in a war camp, you wake up, Triss is like, hey Geralt, you have amnesia, right? And Geralt's like, yes. You know what? That's what it is! That's what it is, Mom! That's the reason you don't like the games. It's because Geralt has amnesia.
Oh yeah,
Fuck you!
That's fair, because amnesia is the worst plot device. Absolutely.
Despite the fact that it totally makes sense in the story. And did you even play the third game?
You know the best part about the second game is Altair's corpse is in the second game in the tutorial.
Yeah, it's true.
It's actually amazing. His corpse is just like hanging out of a hay bale.
Yeah.
And if you go by it, Geralt is like, did that idiot think he could jump?
I love that's something I really like about Netflix Witcher. It's something I like about Witcher in general. The writing is so great. It's so good.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because the well has been so poisoned for me by like 4chan tweeting about it, like the fact that some of the armor sets were supposedly designed after shriveled ball sets.
Okay, yes. It's the big like problem with the actual Netflix show. There's lots of them. Like one of them is that there's this weird. It's not told. It's told in this really weird fashion where every scene you see Ciri in and you're following Ciri, it takes place towards the end of the actual show. But you see her like start of the first episode. But anytime you see Geralt and Yen, you're seeing them like centuries before she even exists, but they don't differentiate that. So they even do the great scene where Geralt goes to the ball where the knight who is cursed to look like a fucking porcupine man shows up and is like, I claim the lost surprise, bitch. That lady's mine. Like they do that great scene, but then like it immediately cuts after that to a scene that's far off in the future, and it's like, okay, but at the end of that scene, they established that Ciri's not even born yet, and that was the moment. Like, that's like episode 4 or 5. That's the moment where I was like, oh wait, this Ciri stuff isn't happening right now? What the fuck? It's so poorly put together, but, like,
Well,
I didn't watch it for, like, that. I enjoyed the actual stories they were doing, the structure of the show, the set design, like, the Nilfgaard armor looks like ball sacks. It looks awful, but it's still a good show.
If I recall, the stories didn't really have like a good time flow to them either, because like one moment Geralt is saving a princess, and the next he's training somebody, and people he had obviously pissed off in the past come to visit him and are like, "Hey, dickhead." So
there's actually a good moment in once you figure out about that, like time, like the way they're telling the story isn't cohesive with the actual time frame. There's a great moment where Geralt he wants to save Ciri from a Nilfgaard invasion, and he contacts
Nilfgaard invasion.
Considering Ciri's grandma is kind of a MILF, and yeah, from a Nilfgaard invasion indeed, sir.
Let me see here. Ciri grandma Netflix
show.
Witcher.
She's got that look in her eye that's like, I will fucking kill you. She's kind of crazy looking.
Wait, is she a blonde?
No.
What am I?
You're probably looking at her actual mom. Her mom is blonde. But her grandma's the queen of the Sidra.
Wait. So
anyway,
you're telling me this is not her grandma?
Oh, for a second there, I saw the dog thing, and I was like, okay, don't be. So Netflix Witcher is a pretty good show.
take your word for it.
I think it's good if you know The Witcher, if you don't know The Witcher. I think its flaws are easier to forgive, though, if you already are familiar with it. The first episode is very exposition heavy. It's a lot of characters talking about the world.
I don't know if I can handle Idris Elba being Ciri's grandma.
No one needs to know what you posted.
Idris Elba as Ciri's grandma.
No, that's literally Idris Elba as Ciri.
Yes, and we all know that people are just their grandparents de-aged 50 years. That's why I work for the Gestapo now. Because my grandpa worked for the Gestapo.
I'm gonna stop living. Frog, please tell me about your dating and talking about that anime.
Yeah, what anime did you want to talk about, Frog?
Oh, yeah. Finally, I get to speak again. It's been a hot minute. So...
Yeah, because Mike won't get off the dick of Netflix writers, despite the fact that the vast majority of television shows hosted by Netflix are made by
bleeding
pedophiles.
Into the microphone like a fucking idiot.
I watched
anyway,
Madoka
Frog,
Magica.
Oh, okay, so Frog is also a pedophile.
Sure, fuck it, whatever.
It's a show about aliens that sexually exploit little girls to power their spaceships.
No sex in that show.
No aliens either.
There's aliens.
That's why
they aren't
make
aliens.
them
They're
transform.
interdimensional beings. It's different.
Same thing.
That's why they make them transform
aliens and interdimensional beings are not the same.
The distinction doesn't matter in the scenario.
Oh, fuck you.
It really doesn't.
So,
it doesn't. Okay.
We talked about it on the last episode. Moth, I know you didn't watch the last episode, so that's fine.
Yeah, because I'm not in it, and I'm the most entertaining part.
Moth only watches the episode he's in.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it last episode, but I didn't finish it, and now I have, including the third movie, Rebellion, I think it's called.
Okay,
So what do you think about the time-traveling lesbian?
I thought... Okay, here's what I think. I think I'm going to separate my critiques from the show and then the movie itself.
All right. Before we begin, I need to ask, how does it compare as a coming-of-age story against Big Mouth?
It's not a coming-of-age story.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a story about... I don't know. Thematically, it's more like about...
accepting fate,
yeah, basically. Like accepting that things can't always change to be the way you want them to be.
Wait.
Except for the movie.
I thought it was an obtuse metaphor for how Japanese businessmen are destroying young girls by forcing them through the idol complex.
No.
Are you sure?
Moth, do you just have diarrhea today?
You can watch any idol show and get that instead.
Well, that's not true, because,
because idol shows actually idolization, so...
Zombieland Saga actually said that being an idol had killed all these girls, and they were bringing them back from the grave.
That's not... That only
literally
two of the characters were idols.
Character died being an idol.
So Madoka Magica is pretty cool. I think I'm not going to... I think everyone is probably knows what this is. Spoiler warning, obviously.
What? No.
What? You can't spoil that. It's like only 8 years old.
Wait, is it 8? I thought it was like 15 years old. Like, I thought it came out at the same time as Evangelion.
2007, right? So it's like 12.
No, I thought it was 2012.
Is it?
Madoka Magica.
It's not 2007, I can tell you that for sure.
Okay.
Puella Magi Mothdoka Magica. 2011.
Okay, my bad. So it's going to be 10 in 2 years. So it's like 8 years old. I was right, actually. First time. Wow. So yeah. But yeah,
okay,
point being, the anime itself. Firstly, I'm not going to touch the movie just yet. I thought it started off kind of weak.
Yep.
It takes a bit of getting going, and you were right, Mike. It really, the whole show might as well be the last like 5 episodes.
Yeah, it's literally the only part that actually matters.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, like, sure, yeah, you could shorten the first like. What is it, like 7?
I mean, without the beginning bit, like, the beginning bit sets up magical girls, and it's very...
You could shorten the first, like, 7 episodes down to, like, 3 episodes.
But,
easily.
Yeah, you totally could.
There's a lot of wasted space.
And all that wasted space is the chick with blue hair.
It's just cool. I like Sayaka.
she literally has no impact on the story.
She doesn't,
she
but she's
exists
cool.
to die.
I think she's kind of neat anyway. I don't know. I liked her character, you know? She wasn't, like, crazy important.
Yeah. But in reference to the main plot of the whole thing,
Oh,
like,
no.
I actually,
Yeah, no. The whole, like...
I like her arc, but
Yeah,
if you cut out her arc and her character entirely,
No, yeah,
you lose
it's
nothing
definitely
from
two
her
separate
character.
arcs. There's, like, that one, and then there's also the Homura stuff. So... I like her stuff. It's not as interesting as Homura's stuff, obviously, but it's still cool. It's neat. I just think it should have been...
Homura is a magical girl with a fucking gun.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Doesn't she kind of go insane and lose her head over some things?
Well, we'll get to that.
You're thinking of a different girl.
No, he's right, but we'll get to that. Because she does totally lose her head over at the end of the movie, but yeah. So I think the whole arc of the movie, like, you know, with the whole time travel reveal, I kind of saw it coming because it's kind of obvious, but it's still a cool kind of a concept of, like, you know, the time loop shenanigans and how, you know, the idea also that you're actually just preventing yourself more and more from making it better, etc. Because, like, the more she time travels backwards, the worse it becomes.
And it could have been super easy for the show to just have her where she's only failed once, so now she's more stoic. But instead they explain, no, she's failed so many countless times that she's a different person from where she started.
Yeah, and that's I totally buy that. It's actually really good. And it's really cool. And that whole arc is really good. I thought that the whole sudden transcendence into godhood was a bit sudden, but I thought it was also, like, you know, it makes sense. Kinda.
It's like doing End of Evangelion, but not, like, deserving it.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it was very sudden and very non-explained, but it did make sense, kind of. I actually understood it more than Evangelion, so there's that.
That's because it's not as metaphorical as... And I'm not... Moth, before you call me, like, pseudo-intellectual for defending Eva, I'm not saying metaphorical isn't a good thing. Like Eva... Whatever. Let's keep talking about...
As far as an actual explainable story thing, it doesn't... Eva, it makes more sense than Eva, because Eva doesn't make any goddamn sense. Because at least this doesn't provide limits to its universe. It's just like, okay, well, magic, dude. You have a wish. The wish comes true, but things will happen based around that wish to, like,
so it's a
mold the
monkey's
universe.
paw.
Yeah,
yes,
actually.
literally a monkey's paw. Like, they cut off a monkey's hand.
So what do you think about Kyubey? What's your opinion on him now?
In Japan, they have their own version of a monkey paw.
Kyubey would be... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's so basically their version
Moth
of
is
the
literally
monkey
just
paw
shit posting.
Is when you sit down to go poop, you have somebody reach their hand under your stall and offer
Kyubey's
you
pretty cool.
blue or red toilet paper.
Moth, do you just start physically hurting when you don't talk for longer than 2 minutes?
Yeah, actually, I do. It's horrible. I was at my wife's family reunion, filled with, like, for this funeral, surrounded by other Mormons, and I was like, man, this place is really dead right now.
Great.
Yeah, and I was like, if we're at a wake, why is she sleeping?
Yeah.
I'm cringing really hard.
Yeah, this is a bit cringe, bro.
Yeah, but Qbert, go ahead.
Qbert Reynolds. All right, so yeah, Kyubey is like, okay. Forgive me for being maybe a little bit nitpicky here, but I feel like the whole logical, like, complete logical, no emotion villain has been done to death a little bit.
Not really, not as well as him.
I don't view Kyubey as a villain. I am in the camp of Kyubey did nothing wrong.
Didn't.
He is the antagonist, at least.
Okay, yeah, but an antagonist is not a villain.
I'll get there.
Because Vegeta is an antagonist, but he's not a villain.
I didn't want to get down this rabbit hole right now. Oh my god.
Like,
I can't get through a fucking sentence.
Beerus is an antagonist, but he's not a villain.
I'm gonna antagonize you, Moth, if you
Frieza
don't let Frog talk.
is an
Beerus is
antagonist.
arguably a villain. He just destroyed multiple universes for no reason. Anyway.
But he's a force of nature.
Except he's not.
Actually, destruction gods are elected. Like, it's literally a political position in the Dragon Ball universe.
Yeah, he's a force of elected nature.
Alright.
If Beerus wasn't doing it, Frieza
you.
or Vegeta would be doing it. So it
Yes,
doesn't matter.
actually, but
The
like
character has to exist regardless. So he's not evil.
Frog,
he's a necessity.
let's just talk louder and maybe he'll go away.
Kyubey's cool because he's a logical like robot basically, but he also is kind of manipulative in that sense. He doesn't just spout just exclusively facts.
He's a
and shit.
pragmatist.
Yeah, he'll say all his facts, but also he'll withhold things for the purposes of getting of.
That's the thing. I totally don't agree with you. He doesn't withhold anything. If at any point,
totally does.
if at any point these girls asked him, "Hey, if I like make a wish, are there like downsides?"
It's lies
He'd be
by
like,
omission.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
lying
but
by
lies
omission
by
is
omission isn't lying. It's like
Yeah.
when I come back with Warhammer models
Jesus
and my
Christ.
wife has me ask like how much I spent on them. I will say at least $10.
So it's
that's
lies.
not even a lie by omission. That's just lying.
No, because I spent at least $10.
Point being, he's literally just withholding information for the express purpose of so that they don't figure out what's going on, and it's obvious.
Yes, but when it comes later in the show and they're exposing how it works, he doesn't say. He doesn't use weasel words. He just said, "Yeah,
You
Yeah,
never
make
asked.
your
'cause
wish
at that
so that I
point,
can
they're like,
drain
well-
your energy."
He's like, well, yeah, I guess. Well, you figured it out. Now I can tell you. He's
I definitely don't view it that way. I think if at any point they're like, "Hey, what are the witches?" And that's kind of the thing. It's kind of like a subtle, not subtle. It's kind of like a soft commentary on how magical girl shows feature characters that are dumb as bricks. And if at any point if these characters had said, "Hey, Kyubey, what happened? Or where did the witches come from?" He'd be like, "Oh, that's what you guys will turn into once your
See, I don't necessarily agree. I mean, this is obviously like going to be interpreted in different ways, right? I mean, we could argue it like till night and day, but either way, no amount of supporting evidence will come to light. I think that he felt pretty manipulative.
If you want a similar character that is manipulative, you should watch Bokurano next.
No,
What the hell is Bokurano?
It's my favorite giant robot show.
but I already have a
also,
favorite giant robot show.
Yeah, but Gurren Lagann's awful. We all know that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was no. You gotta look at Gurren Lagann as where it stands from the time frame it came from. It was completely revolutionary in all the things it accomplished. Amazing animation, great characters. Showed you could have an amazing anime without women, and then put them in anyway to ruin the anime.
Okay, I was waiting for Frog to like poison his own like little thing there. I'm glad Moth. Fuck, it's late. I'm tired. I'm
Yeah,
glad
right.
Moth eventually poisoned himself there.
Now,
Otherwise, I
can
was
we
gonna
talk
actually
about
agree
the
with him
best
once.
mecha anime though of all time? Demon Bane.
Frog's barely let Frog talk about Maguka. We hadn't even got to the movies.
He's gonna
or his
talk
opinion.
about Maguchi.
It's okay.
All
It's
right,
been a long week.
So the movie Frog.
Okay, so I'll just wrap up the anime because I haven't finished there either. I think it's good. The ending is a bit weird and very sudden, but I think it's cool.
How
and
much
it was
is
neat.
there to talk about a 12-episode anime?
More than like 10 minutes, apparently.
Moth, we talked about Sarah Zonmai every episode for the 3 months it aired. Shut the
because
fuck
it was
up.
good.
Yeah, yes, you can talk a lot about things that are good.
You haven't. I
Go
haven't,
away.
That's why I'm amazed we're still talking about Madoka Magica.
I haven't talked for like a full 5 minutes yet. I keep getting
I
interrupted.
know, that's how bad Madoka Magica is.
No, he has. You keep interrupting it, you fucking spurg. Let the man speak.
Frog, if you had to
One
get
question.
married to one of these girls, which would it be?
None. They're all underage.
No, but like, let's assume they were 18 when the anime. They're 19, so there's no question. They're easily 19.
The anime was good. Okay, I enjoyed it, but it had a lot of filler
Frog-
that didn't need to be there.
Frog, who would you marry?
The mom.
The mom. All right, I'm gonna type
That's
in
the best
Madoka
choice.
Magica mom.
She's actually pretty cool.
All right. Apparently. All right. Let's see here. Madoka. Wait, is this the one with the pink hair?
Yeah.
She looks like she has fetal alcohol syndrome at 40.
That's what every character in that show looks like.
That's probably why it's so bad.
So it's pretty good.
All right, how would you compare it to Chobits?
I've never seen that.
Let a man speak. Silence yourself.
All right. I will be quiet until Frog finishes talking about the anime.
I don't believe
He's gonna
it.
wait till you finish a single sentence and then just fucking go in. Fuck, man. So the anime, it's
Anime
good.
was ended suddenly, but I thought it was neat. The movie, third movie, Rebellion.
That's the one where Mommy and Homura have like the big gunfight, isn't it?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
correct.
that's the one I saw. That's a great ass fucking fight.
It's pretty cool. Animation, not stellar for a movie, but it's still a cool movie. I thought it was neat, and I thought it was not. It wasn't. It felt like kind of like an additive thing that didn't need to be there, which is fine. And it was like all good, and then the ending came, and I was like, oh, good. Like Homura, a spoiler again. Homura gets to go up to see Madoka a bit in like her ethereal or whatever form. Like, okay, great. And then Homura just pulls this weird 180, like out of nowhere, and becomes evil for some reason. Like, why?
It's like the end of Panty and Stocking all over again.
I never
except
watched
less
Penny and
sexy.
Stocking. But yeah,
I also never watched Penny and Stocking.
well, I didn't finish
because,
Penny and Stocking is the proper answer to that. I watched like 6 episodes.
I think my issue is when an anime starts with a main character throwing up cum. I don't really have the highest expectations of it.
I mean, that's kind of what you go in there for that jank. That's kind of what you go for that for.
You go in there for the throwing up cum.
Yeah, the janky jank. So yeah, I don't know if someone can like explain to me how Homura, who just wants to be near Madoka her whole life, that's her whole thing. That's like her whole goal, and finally dies and is able to go up to see her. Madoka literally comes down from the heavens to like grasp and take her with her. For some reason, she decides instead to create a world where where she can be with her again. Like by stealing her power. It was dumb. It was stupid.
So she's a magic lesbian. That's the answer.
I
really.
know that, but she got what she wanted, and then she's like, "No, actually, I'm gonna make it worse."
Wait. This is why this is inferior to Sarazanmai. Because Sarazanmai was magical homosexuals. This is magical lesbians.
Hey, Moth.
Yes?
This bitch wasn't done talking.
He said he was at the end.
What?
He said he was like, they became terrible people because time warp.
No. I said
Moth goes,
she became a
"Go in
terrible
the
person
fucking
because
corner."
the writer didn't know what they were doing. I guess they just wanted another twist for some reason. I don't know.
Moth, I want you to go put your nose in the corner and think about everything you've ever said and just be there for the rest of your life.
There's a lot of things to say. Talk about Leon for like half an hour.
Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I think what you should do, as salt as I am at the man for being annoying, you should go talk to Donk about Maguka and get his...
I will, yeah.
He's probably because he, much like I'm the person that spent too much time analyzing Eva, he's definitely the person who spent too much time analyzing Maguka.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, there's stuff to analyze about Eva?
That's like
There's
people doing
a
it for like the last
lot.
20 years, haven't they?
Yeah, like there's even a joke about it in FLCL where the main character, who is literally Ano, like he's actually supposed to be Ano. There's a joke in it like how he's written 3 books about Eva, and at that point Eva had only been out for like 5 years.
Yeah. Point being,
So
I
we
thought
made
it
it,
was
guys.
cool.
We made it to the end of the conversation.
We made it to the end of the podcast. Shut the fuck up, Muff.
All right, now about the movies, Frog.
I only
He
watched the one
already
movie.
talked
I
about
just talked
it.
about the movie.
Wait, I thought...
I'll wrap
that
it up.
we were-
Because this is not going.
I thought the anime ended with the lesbians creating lesbian
No,
planet.
that was the movie finished with the lesbian being like, you know what? I'm gonna make things worse for everybody for no reason.
Just like lesbians.
As lesbians tend to do.
And yeah, and that was the only time in the movie where I was like, yeah, Cube, you can make a point. That's just completely illogical. I was like, it didn't make any sense. I mean, yes, that's not true. I thought Cube, yes, it makes sense what Cube is doing, but also at the same time, it's like a logical thing where it's like, well, Thanos he's kind of right, but like you could you can definitely find better ways to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Well, actually, I don't. In reference to Cube, I mean, I don't know like the laws of that universe, and I don't remember the most about.
Well, considering it can be rewritten by someone wishing for it to be rewritten, it seems like it could be pretty easy to find a solution.
Oh yeah, you make like yes. Go
but
talk. It
doesn't involve killing people for no reason. Anyway,
it's been a few years since I watched Madoka, and I watched it all at once. Like, so I'm not, and I also don't like if. Again, we go back to if I made a top 20 list, it wouldn't even be on the list. I think it's an okay show, but it's definitely not even.
I think it was good. I don't think it was amazing. I think it was good. I don't know why people put it on their top lists, but maybe they just, I don't know. Could appeal to other people more. The good
moments in Madoka are like some of my favorite moments in anime, but like
I wouldn't even say
there's
that.
Like only 3 of those.
I wouldn't say that even. I would say that like the good moments in Madoka are pretty cool, and they're
pretty
neat.
Cool
because I saw them coming. I wasn't spoiled for it. I just saw it coming. I don't know. It's a good show. I think it's maybe overrated though.
Okay. Well,
now we can talk, Moth. You're good now, buddy. you can take off the tape. Take off the muzzle.
No, actually, I've been. What's weird is I've been having a lot of glitching in the audio this entire episode.
Oh, so for are we roboting for you?
A little bit, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out if my CPU, because I just liquid cooled this thing. I'm wondering if my CPU, because it believes it doesn't have a liquid cooler in it right now, if it's just like low clocking itself on purpose because it's afraid it's going to overheat when it's not going to.
I feel like it's an internet issue, not a CPU issue. But I could be wrong.
I don't know. Liquid cooling's weird.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why I will never do it, because I do not trust water around my electronics.
Liquid!
So if no one has anything else, we do have one more email before we get off of this.
We actually
we have
stuff to answer. Yeah.
Points of conversation. Oh, real quick, Medevac Gonzo, you're a bitch.
Got him.
I don't
remember why he's a bitch in this instance, but got him.
What's the bitching this time?
That's it. I wanted to remind him.
Just in general?
Well, as both of you know, recently coworker joined our Discord.
Oh boy.
Coworker. And he did send us an email. This was before he joined the Discord. I'm probably gonna have him still send emails though, so we actually have a use for this fucking thing.
I think I actually forget what this is.
This email specifically, we would have read it last episode, but it is specifically for you, Moth.
What?
The title of this email is That Joe Rogan Shit.
Okay.
Moth, since conspiracy theories are a podcast subject, how do you feel about the Pokemon theory that the reason that there are no dads and the only male subjects are trainers and professors is because there was a war? It'd be nice if I could finish reading it.
No, because this conspiracy theory falls into the same category as Ed, Ed and Eddie are in purgatory, that the Rugrats are dead. It is just stupid, mindless creepypasta that's entertaining to the same people who are still waiting for their letter from Hogwarts, even though they're 28 years old, as a desk jockey.
I don't know who, but definitely someone feels very attacked.
Yeah, I was going to say, someone just got fucking... Oof.
We're literally canceled right now.
Oh, wow.
I literally, if those are the type of people that want to cancel me, it's like that Rick quote from like 3 episodes ago that was literally directed at the audience of Rick and Morty, but they didn't get it. Your boos mean nothing to me. I see what makes you applaud.
Yeah. We haven't talked about it yet, but this season Rick and Morty is really good. But yeah, he just sent that. I just want you to know, Moth, I completely agree, and I made fun of him in person after having read his email.
Yeah, it's your boos mean nothing. Like the conspiracy theories. Like conspiracy theories are fine. Fan theories about established media are the dumbest. You know who does that? Dorkly does that because Dorkly hasn't had an original thought that wasn't social justice garbage in the last decade, and so they churn out consistent Harry Potter.
Okay.
Moth, Dorkly, or SJW's man doesn't want to talk about politics on the podcast.
No. Dorkly sucks, and College Humor has gone downhill in the last 8 years.
I miss Amir and Dean.
And with that, this has been the We Hate Anime podcast. The only podcast that just goes completely off the rails.
The only podcast that can't get a coherent thought out in more than 15 minutes without Moth talking about his dick.
Look, we didn't put anything in the weekly topics this week. I had to wing it, and I'm worried
I know.
that
we were gonna wing it.
I'm worried that Frog can't talk about Madoka Magica in an interesting way, so I was trying to help him.
I was worried, Frog, I was worried that you couldn't have an adult conversation, so I had to be autistic.
That's literally what happened.
Jesus Christ. I am always...
Here, if I was gonna have a conversation about Madoka Magica, I would just, I would make it interesting. I'd be like, do you think Qbert resized her hole at all? Or if, she saved herself for Majoka or whatever?
Just listen to the Eva episode, because we actually had a pretty decent time, I think. Without any,
Moth doesn't know how to have, a cogent conversation about something without bringing up anal sex.
How does it have to be your butt?
It just has to be something. I don't know.
He's a cat.
You can send us an email at AskWeHateAnime if you want to ask us a question or tell Moth that he needs...
Yeah,
yes, at gmail.com.
Using that Yahoo crap.
Yeah.
If you want to tell Moth to shut the fuck up for 5 minutes, please email it there or join our Discord. Links in the description. Also in the description will be a link to our Twitters.
Yeah, I've been fucking up Mike's Twitter for the longest time, and he hasn't told me. I just found it out myself last week. His ad is ANIMAIKARU.
T.
No T.
Moth is he's at Dermothman. Follow him so he'll start using it.
I haven't posted anything.
I'm waiting with bated breath for the day he posts his dick.
I need to find what Stamper's current Twitter handle is and just reshare everything he posts.
He gets a new one every other month, man.
It's just...
If you just search Stamper, you'll find it.
No, you won't.
No, you won't. You actually have to go to the Sleepy Cabin subreddit and find the latest update.
And you can follow Frog on Twitter at...
FR0GK1NG. Same thing for Twitch, even though I haven't streamed in, a fortnight or two. Come see me for Fortnite.
If you're watching this...
Palpatine is Rey's grandfather.
Cool.
If you're watching this on Twitter... Fuck, not on Twitter. If you're watching this on YouTube...
If you're watching this on twitch.tv/ I'm a titty streamer.
Moth, you're the reason why I have aneurysms.
Do you have aneurysms?
No, but if I had one, it would be moth-shaped.
He's just prone to seizures at this point. Every time he sees a moth out in the wild, he just goes, ah!
Foaming at the mouth.
I see them. I work next to a forest, and at the start of this podcast, I would see one, and I'd be like, "Oh, a friend." But lately, every time I see one, I'm like, "This motherfucker!" Every time. That's not even a joke.
Get one of those electrical lights that just
If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and share and subscribe. If you're fucking listening to this on Apple or whatever the fuck, leave us a fucking review. Tell these services that we're worth it so that we can be fucking big.
By the way,
I am virgin raging right now, Moth. You do not get to talk anymore.
No, Apple does not track the number of times you review something. So I've reviewed our podcast 12 times. That's where all of our 1-star reviews come from.
Do we actually have reviews on Spotify? Or not on Spotify, on Apple?
Yeah, I figure if I give us 1-star reviews, people will be curious to see if we're actually that bad.
That's a bad idea.
So,
And with that, everybody, we've been
Mike,
gonna go have a holly jolly Christmas, everybody.
Mike,
I'm going to go
Happy holidays.
Unalive myself now.
Mike, I got a question for you. Would you rather have cellulite in your thighs or in your upper forearms?
Remember how
Good night, everybody.
Remember how a couple weeks ago I was eating a rotisserie chicken the whole time?
And that's the end.
No, I have like a package of like raw hot dogs. I've been munching on.
そんな優しくしない